Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're taking a fascinating but honestly kind of stomach-churning journey through time. We're going to explore the 5 millennium evolution of dental hygiene. Yep, 5,000 years of human beings literally just trying to figure out how to keep their teeth from rotting straight out of their skulls. Now, I gotta give you a fair warning right up front. The reality of how our ancestors handled their morning routines is incredibly gross. It is far, far removed from the clean, sanitized habits we're so used to today. But, understanding this history is absolutely crucial, because it really shows us just how far human ingenuity and, well, our tolerance for disgusting things has actually come.
So I want you to stop for a second and really imagine this. You wake up, you stretch, you walk over to your bathroom sink, but instead of reaching for that perfectly smooth, sweet, minty paste, what do you grab? Like, what did people actually put in their mouths before modern toothpaste was even a thing? It's a huge gap in our everyday knowledge, right? I mean, we just kind of assume people either let their teeth fall out, or maybe they had some sort of ancient magical herbal remedy. Well, actually, scratch that. The reality is far more abrasive, far more desperate, and significantly more bizarre than you might think.
Okay, let's dive right into this because the answer is rough, literally. We're talking about crushed hooves, pulverized oyster shells, and ground up animal bones. Just imagine the sheer grit and friction of that in your mouth. You see, early humans realized pretty quickly that to get plaque off their teeth, they needed an abrasive. But without the microsilica that we use today, they just had to turn to the hardest things they could find lying around in their immediate environment. So, yeah, they were quite literally taking sharp, jagged, crushed animal parts and rubbing them directly onto their sensitive gums just to scrape away the grime of the day. No way around it. It's brutal.
Which brings us to phase one, the disgusting truth.
Now, when it came to the actual tools they used to apply these wild concoctions, they obviously didn't exactly have ergonomic rubber grip handles. Instead, they relied on something called a miswak, or a chewing stick, basically an early twig-based tool. People would go out, find a specific type of branch, peel back the bark, and then literally just chew on the end of the wood until the fibers splintered and frayed. Then they'd take that frayed, rough, splintery piece of wood and scrub it vigorously against their teeth and gums. Honestly, it was a highly effective, completely natural toothbrush, but again, a very rough and incredibly tactile experience. So moving past that initial gross-out factor, we enter phase two, ancient tools and twigs. And this brilliantly illustrates our timeline of continuous effort to perfect oral hygiene. We start way back in 3000 BC in Babylonia, where the very first recorded uses of those chewing sticks we just talked about were actually found in ancient tombs. Then we fast forward massively to 1498 in China, a completely pivotal year where the concept of the bristled brush was finally born. And then, jumping ahead again, we land in 1938, the year literally everything changed globally with the invention of modern synthetic materials. Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is just how staggering the contrast is. On one side of history, we've got mint and fluoride, a soothing chemical compound designed to actively remineralize your enamel. And on the exact opposite side, the crushed eggshells and hooves our ancestors had to endure. Seriously, can you even imagine the taste? Think about that gritty, chalky, organic residue left in your mouth after vigorously scrubbing it with powdered hooves. It's a pretty stark reminder of exactly why you should be incredibly thankful for that little tube sitting in your bathroom right now. And that takes us into phase three, the boar bristle era. As we hit the late 1400s in China, people finally realized they needed actual bristles to sweep between the teeth. So naturally, they turned to the animal kingdom. Historical records literally describe them using boar hair plucked from the necks of swine in cold climates. I really want you to take a second and imagine that feeling in your mouth. They specifically used pigs from freezing regions because the sub-zero temperatures caused those boars to grow incredibly thick, stiff, and wiry hair. They'd pluck these hairs, attach them to handles made of animal bone or maybe bamboo, and just use them to scrub their teeth. So yeah, you were essentially brushing your pearly whites with the stiff neck hair of a freezing wild pig. Was it effective? Yes. Is it absolutely disgusting by today's standards? 100%. Thankfully, we didn't stay stuck in the boar hair era forever. Welcome to phase four, the modern minty revolution. As we enter the 20th century, chemistry and synthetic manufacturing completely rewrote the rules of daily human hygiene. So the crucial point here is this exact year, 1938. This is perhaps the single most important date in the entire 5,000-year history of dental care. Why?
Well, because 1938 is the miraculous year that the synthetic nylon toothbrush was introduced to the world. Almost out of nowhere, we had a material that was strong, flexible, completely sterile, and entirely man-made. It was the absolute end of putting animal hair in our mouths, and it revolutionized human hygiene literally overnight.
Let's see how this builds, because it was really a simple 3-step process that changed the world. Step 1, ditch the bacteria-harboring animal hair. Good riddance. Step 2, synthesize clean, uniform, and customizable nylon bristles. And step 3, mass-produce these modern toothbrushes so that they're cheap and readily available to every single person on the planet. This massive, rapid manufacturing shift meant that perfect oral hygiene was no longer just a luxury for the wealthy, and it certainly no longer required hunting down a wild boar in the freezing cold.
Which leaves us with a truly fascinating thought to wrap up our historical narrative today. Think about it. If we went from crushed hooves and freezing pig hair to perfectly engineered, vibrating sonic nylon brushes in the span of 5,000 years, what in the world will we use to clean our teeth 5,000 years from now? Are we going to have microscopic nanobots that just crawl around and clean our enamel while we sleep? Will we use targeted light or sound waves to instantly disintegrate plaque? The evolution of hygiene is far from over, and looking back at how incredibly far we've come makes the future of human evolution so exciting to think about.
And that wraps up our incredibly messy journey through dental history. If you found this explainer as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and definitely subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more deep dives into the past. Also, drop a comment down below. What was the absolute grossest part of this timeline for you? Was it the hooves or the pig hair? Let me know. And hey, be sure to share this with a friend so they can truly appreciate their modern toothbrush tonight. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next explainer.